All right, this is the Module 10 review, Part 3. This lesson is going to cover 10-4, and it's on the area of composite figures. And remember, composite figures, it's just taking simple geometric figures and putting them together. All right, driveway consists of two rectangles. One is 80 feet long and 15 feet wide, and the other is 30 feet long and 30 feet wide. What's the area of the driveway? So I just have to put these two together, and that's going to give me a total area. So I've got 80 feet multiplied by 15 feet. Okay, that's 1,200. Again, you're going to need a pencil, you're going to need paper, you're going to need a calculator to do this. So I've got one that's 1,200. So I'm going to write that down. Okay, 1,200. This one's 1,200 square feet. And then I've got 30 times 30, 30 times 30. So that's 900. And I'm just going to simply add those together. 1,200 plus 900, and that gives me my answer of 2,100. Of course, you can look at the hints, decompose the figure into simple geometric figures, okay, rectangle, square, add the areas. 2,100. Check it. Okay, let me wipe the screen. And moving on to the next problem. All right, a patio is made of two sections. One is shaped like a trapezoid, the other like a semicircle. Okay, so there's definitely some math involved here that we've got to do. All right, the bases of the trapezoid are 12 feet and 8 feet, and the height of the trapezoid is 4 feet. The diameter of the semicircle is the trapezoid's shorter base. So it's going to be this one right here. Okay. All right. Find the area of the patio. All right. So let's take a look at the trapezoid because that's first. Okay. So the area of the trapezoid, I know I need to add the bases, right? So 8 plus 12, and then I have to divide that by 2 and then multiply it times the height. Okay, that's going to give me the area of the trapezoid. So 8 plus 12 is 20. Divide that by 2, that's going to give me 10. And then multiply that times 4, and that's going to give me 40. Okay, so there's the area of the trapezoid. Now I need to find the area of the semicircle. Okay, well, we've got to find the area of the entire circle, and I know that the diameter um, of this is the diameter of the semicircle is the same as the shorter base, right? Okay, so the diameter is 8, right? The diameter is 8. That's what it says to me. Okay. Um, so let's see. Okay, so let's find the area of the semicircle now. So again, the diameter is the trapezoid shorter base, so 8. So if the diameter is 8, that means diameter, the radius is the diameter divided by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay, and again, this is a semicircle, so we're going to have to find half of it at the end. So let's see. So we're going to go 3.14 times 4 times 4. And then since it's a semicircle, we have to divide it by 2. Okay, so let's see. 3.14 times 4 times 4. That's if it were a whole circle, 50.24. Then divide it by 2. So I get 25.12 square feet. So I've got 40 and 25.12. So 40 plus 25.12. So let's add those together. And I get 65.12. 65.12 square feet. Okay. Again, could look at the hints, decompose in simple geometric figures, add the areas. Okay. And now this picture is kind of misleading because that's not accurate. but use the numbers that they give you. Because if you look at that picture, you're going to get a little caught up in the picture, and that's not right for what they're asking you. All right, moving on. Okay, and let me wipe the screen here. All right, Juanita's making a ribbon. So a couple of you I talked to, it looks like there's a rectangle, right? And it's got a bite taken out of it. It's like a scissor marks or something's taken out of it, okay? What shape has been taken out of it? What does that look like if I complete that shape? If I complete this shape, if I draw from here to here, what shape is that? It's a triangle, okay? So what have I done to this? I can find the area of the rectangle. What's the area of the rectangle? Well, my dimensions are 15 by 3. What's 15 times 3? 15 times 3. Okay, that's 45, right? Okay, so dimensions of my rectangle, 15 and 3, 45. Okay. Now subtract out the area of the cutout from the rectangle. Okay, well, that's 45, right? And then what is the area of this triangle? Well, the height of my triangle is 4 and the base of my triangle is 3. So I need to go 4 times 3, but then of course I have to divide that by 2 because the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So 12 divided by 2, of course, is 6. So 45 minus 6, and 45 minus 6 is 39. Okay, so 39 centimeters squared. Now, what's the other way I could do this? Okay, I could separate the ribbon into a couple different triangles here, right? I could separate it into two triangles and rectangles, and my triangles would be 3 and 3, and another triangle that's 33. And if I added those all up, I would get 39. Okay. Alrighty. So either way it would work. I think method 1 to me makes more sense. And of course, you can look at the hint. Okay. Alrighty. Moving on. Let me wipe the screen. Okay. Look at this figure. Okay. What shapes do you see? Okay. What shapes do you see? Okay. I see a triangle. I see a rectangle. And I see a trapezoid. Okay. Separate the figure into simple geometric figures. Determine the dimensions and area of each of the simple geometric figures. So you've got a triangle here. Let's take a look at the triangle first. Okay. What's the height of the triangle? 2. What's the base of the triangle? 1, 2, 3. So 2 times 3 divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that's the area of my triangle. Now, what are the dimensions of my rectangle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 5 times 3. What's 5 times 3? 15. So the area of my rectangle is 15. Now we got a trapezoid. Add my two bases together. Base 1. The two parallel sides are my bases. 1, 2, 3. That's one of my bases. 1, 2. So 3 plus 2. And then I always have to divide the bases by the height. Height is 2. 1, 2. Okay, and then multiply it times the height, which is 2 as well. Okay, so 3 plus 2 divided by 2 is 2.5, and 2.5 times 2 is 5. So now I'm going to add these three numbers together. 3 plus 15 plus 5, and that of course is going to give me my answer, and my answer is 23. Don't even need to use a calculator for that one, hopefully. 23. Okay. Checking it is good. Wiping the screen, moving on. All right, number 5. Okay, again, same thing. They've already separated the figures from me. What do I have here? A semicircle with a radius of 20, a triangle with a height of 20 and a base of 10 and 50 makes 60, and a rectangle with a length of 50 and a width, or maybe a width of 50 and a length of 20. Doesn't really matter, whatever we want to say. Okay, so let's tackle the rectangle first. 50 times 20. What is that? 50 times 20. Okay, 50 times 20. That is 50 times 20 is, that's right, 1,000. So I got to write, I got 1,000, right? It's a pretty big number. Now let's do the triangle. 20 times 60. Why is it 60? Again, it's this whole length here. So I had to add 10 and 50 together. Divided by 2. What do I get? All right. 20 times 60. Oops. 20 times 60. Divided by 2. I get 600. Okay. Now I've got to find the area of the semicircle. Okay, so I need to find the area of the circle first and then divide it by 2. Okay, if my diameter is 20, what's my radius? Okay, again, find radius, I take my diameter and I divide it by 2. So 20 divided by 2 is 10. So my radius is 10. Already tells me to use 3.14. So 3.14 times 10 times 10. And of course, that's 100. So that's going to be 314. So I'm going to add those three numbers together. 1,000 plus 600 plus 314. 1,000 plus 600 plus 314. And should, oops, I made a mistake. I need to divide this by 2. I'm glad I caught myself. That's not correct. 314 divided by 2. Thank you. 157. Almost made that mistake. 157. 157. Maybe you caught it when I was doing it. Thank you. Let's do that right. Let's start over. 1,000 plus 600 plus 157. There we go. 1757 is your answer. So 1,757 square feet. Check it. We're good. All right. Moving on to question number 6. I'll wipe the screen. Okay, all about composite figures. So you're doing really well. Okay, again, what two shapes can you see here? Right here, you've got a rectangle and you've got a trapezoid. Okay, so what are the dimensions of my rectangle? 8 and 16. So we're going to go 8 times 16. All right, 8 times 16, 128. All right, now what are the dimensions of my trapezoid? Okay, so one of my bases is 10. What's my other base? Well, from here to here is 16. Here to here is 8. So 16 minus 8 would be 8. So this base must be 8. Okay, so I know I've got my bases of 10 and 8. And I'm going to divide that by 2. But I need to know what the height is. What's my height? So what is this distance right here? Well, the whole thing, this whole distance is 16. And from here to here is 12. So I just go 16 minus 12 to get the height, which is 4. 16 minus 12 is 4. Okay, so 10 plus 8 is 18. Divide that by 2 and multiply it times 4. I get 36. So I've got 128 plus 36. Add those together. And I get my answer, which is 164. Of course, you can look at the hints. You can say divide into figures, find the areas, right? All right. And it's interesting what they did here is they actually made it into 2 rectangles and a triangle, but I've been telling you all about trapezoids, which I think makes it a little easier. It's one less step. It's a shape you're probably familiar with. So, all right, moving on to question number 7. All right. Eric's designing a logo for a company. The logo consists of 2 identical parallelograms joined at their longest sides. One of the parallelograms has a length of 2.5 centimeters and a height of 1.25 centimeters. What's the area of the logo? Okay, so I've got 2 identical ones. So whatever my answer is, I've got to multiply it by 2. Okay, so 2.5 times 1.25, and I just need to multiply that by 2, right? Times 2. Here's your answer, 6.25. Okay, length times width, right? All right. Moving on, question number 8. All right. Oh man, what shapes do I have here? Well, I've got a triangle. What do I have here? I've got a rectangle, and someone took a bite out of it in the shape of a semicircle. Okay, so we need to find the area of my triangle. Okay, so let's see. 6 times 12 and divide that by 2. Okay, let's see. 6 times 12, divide that by 2. Okay, so I know that the area of my triangle is 36 square centimeters. What would the area of my rectangle be if I completed this? All right, well, 12 and 21. So 12 times 21, 252. Okay, 12 times 21 is 252. So I've got 36 and I've got 252. So when I add those two together, 36 and 252, I get 288. But I'm not done at this point, right? But looking at all the answers, I probably can eliminate 2 of them at this point, right? I can definitely eliminate this one because that's 288, and this one's greater than 288, and someone took a bite out of that, so I can eliminate this one. So those 2 answers are out. So it's either 174.96 or 231.48. So now I need to find what is the area of this semicircle. Well, of course, my diameter is 12. So what does that make my radius? Yeah, my radius is 6 because half of the diameter is the radius. Okay, so now I just need to find the area of the semicircle. So I'm going to go 3.14 times 6 times 6, and I'm going to divide that by 2. And whatever I get, I'm going to subtract it out. 3.14 times 6 times 6. And I got 100 and divided by 2, sorry. And I got 56.52. And I need to subtract out 56.52. And hopefully you know at this point it's 231.48, but we'll just check it just in case. So remember originally we got 288, so 288 minus 56.52, and there's your answer right there. Okay. Again, that's nice about multiple choice tests. You can always eliminate the wrong answers by working the problem through. Okay, check it. Of course, you can look at the hints, add the areas, rectangle, and subtract out the semicircle. Okay. Okay, let's wipe the screen and moving on to the next one. Okay, how many triangles had this question before? 4, 7, 12. Okay, how many can you make out of this? All right, so 4, remember the two shorter sides have to be greater than the third side. 4 plus 7, that's 11. Is 11 greater than 12? Okay, so think of it like this. 4 plus 7, is that greater than 12? No, it's not greater than 12, so you cannot make any. Okay, again, check the hint. Triangle inequality theorem, which is the sum of any two triangles must be greater than the third side. 11 is not greater than 12 in any situation. Okay, so wipe the screen. All right, now cylindrical garbage can has dimensions shown. What's the area of a horizontal cross section? Okay, remember, if I'm doing a horizontal cross section, I'm cutting through it like this. What shape does that make? Makes a circle. So I need to find the area of that circle, right? Okay, what's my radius? Because I need to know radius in order to find the area of a circle, right? Well, my diameter is 12. So what does that make my radius? That makes my radius 6. Because half of my diameter is my radius. Do I even need to do anything with 15? No, I didn't cut vertically. I cut horizontally. Okay, so we're just going to go 3.14 times 6 times 6. And that's going to give me my answer. And I get 113.04. Okay. All right, let's check it. Okay, good. Now, moving on. All right, now what's the area of the vertical cross section? Okay, so now we're cutting it vertically this time. Okay, so if we cut it vertically, what shape did it make now? Well, now it made a rectangle, right? Now it made a rectangle. So now that 15 does come into play, and now it's just simply what are the dimensions of it? Well, okay, again, here's my cylinder. Okay, this is 15. This is 12. Okay, I cut it right here. Okay, 15, 12. I'm just drawing these pictures that are extra for you, but 15 and 12, okay, that's 180, right? Pretty simple math. 180. Oops, sorry, not 18. 180. There we go. Check it. All right, good. Okay, and of course, it's going to tell you that perpendicular makes a rectangle. Okay. All right. Which cross section has the greater area? All right. Which one was greater? The rectangle was greater, right? The vertical cross section was greater, and by how much? Okay. If you just subtract the two, you should get, and we can do the math. You have 180 minus 113.04. I had to read it. Then you get 66.96, which is one of the drop downs here. And that's it. Check it. You're good. Again, look at the hints if you have questions. Compare A, B. And we're done. Hopefully this is helpful. You're ready to take your test. Okay, I appreciate you watching this, guys. Good luck.